Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. International break means we've got to get creative around here. We've got to think outside the box for the topics because they don't get handed to us on the plate. Unfortunately, there's no tap-ins like the match preview or something. Gonzo's done a really good video. Well, I say that, I haven't watched it. He went back to where Upton Park was and I won't watch it. I don't want to see it. But it's a really good idea. So if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it and let me know how it was. Probably sad. That's why I'm not watching it. Anyway, my idea is the two players that have surprised me most this season. One for good reasons and one for bad reasons. Bad's probably a strong word. He's just not as good as I expected. Simple as that reason. He can still go on and have a really good season. And hopefully he does. But so far, not as good as I hoped. Anyway, let's start with the players done well. The players surprised me for good reasons. Start with a bit of positivity, shall we? Jarrod Bowen. Now, of course, this video depends on your expectation of the player for this season. So if you expected Jarrod Bowen to be Hammer of the Year, you'll be thinking, hang on, I don't agree with you here, Joe. Of course you won't, because his performances won't have surprised you. Do you know what I'm trying to say badly, perhaps? But Bowen, I didn't think he'd be one of our best players. I thought he'd have a decent season. I was looking forward to seeing him. I thought pre-season he was our best player. But that was in pre-season. I just assumed he wouldn't maintain that form going into the season. I was wrong. I think he's been brilliant. I think Jarrod Bowen has been one of our best players, along with Michail Antonio and perhaps Declan Rice. But I'd say Bowen Antonio was probably our best performer so far this season. And Bowen's the more surprising one for me because I thought I did a video at the start of the season, just before we kicked off the season, saying I was looking forward to seeing Fornals and Benrahma. Now that's still the case. But I've been more impressed with Jarrod than the other two. Now, in terms of goals and assists, the other two have got more than Jarrod Bowen, but I don't think that tells the whole story. I know, I like stats, I love stats, and to be fair, if you look at the underlying statistics, Jarrod Bowen's probably our second most creative player, does the second most dribbles per game, tackling stats, he's just behind Pablo Fornals, so his underlying statistics are really, really good. But 1 goal, 1 assist in the league, it's not outstanding numbers, but his performances, I think he's been fantastic. Often I'll do the review with Gonzo, we'll do the player ratings over in the Patreon. Jarrod Bowen will usually be in contention for man of the match at the minute. Every game, Jarrod Bowen seems to be getting really good marks from us. And one game here, one game there, you can't read too much into it. But when you're consistently saying Jarrod Bowen played well, Jarrod Bowen played well, you've got to look at it. And I do think he has been one of our best players so far this season. So much so, he's probably unfortunate not to be in the England squad as we speak, with it being the international break. I enjoyed my international break so far. Scotland had a fantastic result on Saturday against Israel. Not that you care, but I do. So I just thought I'd mention it. Scotland won 3-2. Last minute goal as well. It was a bloody good game too. Anyway, England squad at the minute. Got Sancho in there, who he's a better player than Jarrod Bowen, right? I'm not going to compare. I'm not trying to say Bowen's better than Sancho or anything like that. But in terms of form this season, leave it right out. There's absolutely no way Sancho's anywhere near the form that Jarrod Bowen has produced for West Ham United. Not even just him, Jesse Lingard as well. Loved him at West Ham. Still do. Still wish he played at West Ham. I think we'd have more points on the board should Lingard still have been here. But Bowen deserves being in the squad ahead of him. It's as simple as that as far as I'm concerned. Especially when you played Moldova and Dora, whoever it was you played the other night and you won comfortably. And you look at the team Gareth Southgate puts out, and I think it's the correct team to put out. And you win comfortably, and you don't risk the players that are sort of going to be playing later on in the campaign. But that's the type of game where Gareth Southgate could and probably should be looking at players with the future ahead of them. He's not going to learn anything. Right? Southgate's not going to learn anything from playing Jesse Lingard in that match, but he might have learnt something from playing Jarrod Bowen, seeing what he can offer. So I was a bit disappointed for him actually that he's not been in the England squad, although he has been putting the international break to good use, hasn't he? Yeah, we know Jarrod, we've seen the photographs, the photographers have got you, you sneaky boy. So while he's not scoring for England, he's definitely been scoring somewhere else, but that's as good as it gets around here. But yes, back to West Ham performances. Whoa. Anyway, while I'm talking about surprises from Jarrod Bowen, do you want an app that contains 0 surprises? No nasty stuff, no pop-up adverts or anything like that. It has everything that you need there. That's it. What you see is what you get. That is why you need the One Football app. Get it downloaded today. It's the #1 football app for the football fan, and it is completely free, of course. Combining social media with football. You choose what you follow. Follow your club, follow your country, follow the competition that you want to see, and get a streamlined version of the news and gossip for that team and country in particular. It's completely free. Links in the description and the pinned comments, and guess what? Still no nasty surprises. Anyway, back to talk about Jarrod Bowen. I think he's becoming one of the first names on the team sheet. I think for large parts of the season last season, was the first name on the team sheet out of that attacking trio, if you like. But I think Bowen is that person now. I think Jarrod Bowen's shirt is not up for grabs anymore, and this is why Vlasic is probably going to have a bit of a difficult time, because when Vlasic arrived, it's a bit different, isn't it? Because the season, I don't like it when it does that. The season starts, then you can sign players. Let's just say we signed Vlasic and then the season kicked off. You would assume Vlasic might be out of Bowen's position, or perhaps Said Benrahma's, and probably not Pablo Fornals. Now, today, I would say Vlasic has probably got more chance of taking Benrahma or Fornals' place in the team rather than Jarrod Bowen. I just think he's become indispensable at the moment. Of course, this is based on form. It's a quarter of the season's gone, if that. It's not that far into the season. I've just been really, really impressed by him, actually. Every game he seems to get better. All our good attacking play goes through him. And when we've been needing a goal, like Brentford, when we needed a goal, I felt like he was going to be the one that got on in if it wasn't Antonio. Antonio didn't score. I felt like Jarrod Bowen was probably the likeliest candidate to go and score for West Ham. He ended up scoring. But he's just been carrying that threat, and while he's only got one goal in the Premier League, I think he's very unfortunate. The Leeds United one, it goes down as an own goal. Of course it's an own goal. It's the most obvious own goal there is. But it's Jarrod Bowen's shot that ends up in the back of the net, doesn't it? Statistically, nothing to show for it. But without Jarrod Bowen, the goal don't go in. Anyway, that's the good one. Jarrod Bowen, happy with him. The not so good one, and no, it's not Thomas Souček. I know some of you are thinking, here he goes, because that video I did last week, a lot of people agreed, a lot disagreed. I knew that would be the case, but it's not Thomas Souček, because I'm not that surprised. I expected him to continue to struggle for reasons said in that video. Don't know what I'm talking about. I'll be at the end of this one. The player that's surprised me the most for not being as good as I expected, that's it, Ogbonna. It's quite concerning, actually. It's getting concerning. At the start of the season, the complete opposite to Jarrod Bowen. Start of the season, Ogbonna was nailed on in that starting 11 for me for West Ham. Him and Dawson, Diop played Europa League. That was it, really. We'll bring in the centre back. And the whole time we were linked to a centre back, we ended up signing Kurt Zouma, of course. But while we were linked to a centre back, I thought, who are we going to bring in to play alongside Ogbonna? That was the question I was asking. It wasn't who's going to go out the team or what's the partnership going to be. It was who are we signing to play alongside Ogbonna. I would argue been proven correct, because Kurt Zouma and Ogbonna have started the last 2 Premier League games together. But his performances are concerning me. Is it an age thing? Is his performances just naturally declining slightly because of his age catching up with him? That would be normal. And like I said, this doesn't mean he's playing badly, by the way. I'm not saying Ogbonna is playing really poor and needs to be dropped or anything. As I said at the very start of the video, it's about expectation. And 2 seasons ago, I thought Ogbonna got injured. Had he not got injured, he would have won Hammer of the Year. I thought he was one of our best players. Last season, again, a very solid season. Got injured for a period of it, and I think that knocks him out of contention for any Hammer of the Year award or anything like that. And we struggled without him. We struggled massively last season without Ogbonna, and we had Dawson and Diop for that part, and that's when we were on the bad run, because he was out and Declan Rice was out at the same time, and you sort of thought, well, which one is it that's bad? But both centre backs were playing poorly. They were playing individually, they were playing poorly, so I would insinuate Ogbonna was a key man at the heart of the defence. And coming into this season, like I said, I thought Ogbonna was a mainstay in that team, but while he's had some good games, I don't think he's had that many good games, but I think he's had a few games that's concerning, a little bit concerning. I'm not just talking about the Brentford game. Before someone says, it was one defeat, and I keep pointing to the video I did prior to the Souček and Rice one, which was about the defeat, which I said, it's alright, we got beat, it's not the end of the world, carry on, we're having a good season, and we are having a good season. But unlike Jarrod Bowen, I'm not so sure Ogbonna's shirt is no longer up for grabs, if you know what I mean. I'm confident he'll start against Goodison Park. I'll do the preview with Gonzo later in the week when we look ahead to the Everton game. I'm sure we will both pick Ogbonna in that team as well. But maybe before the last couple of games, before the likes of Leeds and Brentford, I'd have been 10 out of 10. Confident, 100% confident Ogbonna is starting for West Ham. I want to see Ogbonna start. I'm coming down a little bit, 75% maybe. So I'm still sure I want to see him start. But his performances are... I'm noticing I'm not as confident in him anymore, if you know what I mean. Before, when I speak about how, when we do the review and stuff, when we speak about individual players, Jarrod Bowen is consistently coming up as a contender for man of the match, someone that's impressed us. That used to be Ogbonna. Ogbonna used to come up every game, every second game. Oh, he fantastic, 8 out of 10, possibly man of the match, the man of the match, whatever. Ogbonna was consistently getting praised week in, week out, week in, week out. I don't think we've praised him much this season at all. Bear in mind, these reviews are on a game-by-game basis, so when we sit down and we talk about the 90 minutes we've just witnessed, I don't feel like we've been chatting about Ogbonna very much when it comes to handing out the plaudits, if you want. Granted, we're not saying he's had a poor game either, because you do sometimes look at players like Soufal against Brentford. Soufal was awful against Brentford. Ogbonna didn't necessarily get that sort of vibe about him. But I expected him to be a Ham of the Year contender. I did. I think Ogbonna is that good. I think he was that good. Is that good? Depends how you want to look at it. And that's what makes him sort of the most surprising player for me, in that his performances are slightly worrying. Because my expectation was Ogbonna would come the end of the season in May, have a very, very good season with us, not being dropped or anything like that. And I'm not so sure we're going to get to that point anymore. And considering he's in his last year of his contract as well, I do wonder if I'll have an effect on how West Ham are looking at Ogbonna's future, because Fabianski's contract's up at the end of the summer as well, so there's a few big decisions on the horizon for West Ham. For David Moyes has got some big decisions to make here, because listen, if Ogbonna and Fabianski, let's stick with, forget Fabianski for a minute. Well, international break, did you see, if you haven't seen it already, go look at Fabianski getting subbed off for Poland. Crikey, lumping throat stuff that. He played his last ever game for Poland against San Marino, and he started it, and it was announced in the summer. Fabianski announced in the summer that this was going to be his last game for Poland. This was always the plan. He hasn't just spontaneously decided he's retired. So this was always going to be his last fixture for Poland against San Marino. So he started the game. Then in about the 70th minute, he got substituted off. And he started crying, his gloves come off, he's clapping the fans, kissing the Polish badge, slumping his chest and stuff, but he was emotional, very emotional, and it's hard to watch that and not get emotionally impacted as well. You do lumping throat stuff that. But anyway, this is where Ogbonna, if Ogbonna was 28, 29, he'd get a new contract tomorrow. Moyes would say, yeah, here you go, here's a 3-year contract, but he's not, is he? He's still at a good age, I think. I think he's still got another couple of years in him. But I do wonder if it's his performances are perhaps kick the can down the road a little bit with his contract. Instead of saying we'll sort it in October, November, it's probably, we'll take a little look at it in February now, Angelo, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's it. There you go. Bottom of barrel scraping. If you've got any video ideas, put them in the comments below. I've got 1 or 2 days left before we do the preview. I've got one topic lined up, so I could do one more from you lovely lot out there. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Let me know in the comments below who has surprised you the most, for good reasons or bad reasons. Put them in the comments. I'll be having a little look, having a little chit chat with you all. You're new to the channel, subscribe, enjoy this video, drop a like on it, and I'll catch you tomorrow.